their minds can expand now. Now they need what formula? The formula is the words. So that's why you get them the dictionary. The one I got is called the Webster's Unabridged Encyclopedic Dictionary of the English Language. Is about 4.5 inches thick, if not 6. So I read that. I've been reading that book for years. Only thing I've been reading, other book I read that long, is the Bible, because my mom had me reading the Bible. And so once I go through there, we get the speed reading down, we get the dictionary down. What's next? You get them a book of mathematical formulas to study. Tell them don't try to remember it, just keep reading it. It'll organize itself. But we have a tendency to not realize that our children don't learn the same. Some of them learn by how the information makes them feel. Some of them learn by what they can imagine the scenario would smell or taste like, olfactory. You got some of them visual learners. They can only learn from how they see it. They got to see it so they learn visually. Then you got audio learners that has to hear somebody speak it. But the speed reading draws all learning styles into this reading process. It draws all of the learning styles. That's why it's not in schools. If speed reading is a thing and good grades is a thing, speed reading is proven to increase grades. Why is it not standard in elementary? Nobody's asking that question because nobody give a rat's ass what their child get at school as long as they go. This is the wrong way of thinking. So from there, they learn the mathematical formulas. The formulas is the reason you can solve the problem, not because you recognize the numbers. The formula is the method by which you find the solution to the problem that these numbers are displaying. And the more formulas you know in math, the further you go. So let's say a person got a child. They say this child is incorrigible. He can't learn, got ADD, ADHD. What would I do? Well, I would get a 9-THC CBD oil, valerian root, and skullcap. I would tell them we finna learn speed reading out the gate. I don't care how problem of a child he is, because the challenge to the mind, it does more for the child than the challenge to the body. So as they begin to assimilate the information in the mind, they begin to accelerate how rapid they can absorb information. The speed reading is the governor, for those who know what a mini bike is. The governor is that you take it off of the mini bike so it can go its maximum speed. It governs the speed of the vehicle. Well, speed reading is the method by which you take the governor off the learning process. I have yet to find one speed reader that's not advanced educationally. Some people are naturals. They can run through a 400-page book in an hour, but they're not speed readers. If they were speed readers and they already had that natural ability, that 400-page book would be 10 of them in an hour. But they don't know the techniques to speed reading. So we don't teach this to our children. But once you get that down, you just gave your child a passport to a better life and a more successful life. The earlier you get it to them, the faster and the more they'll excel. Excuse me, y'all. So you get them the speed reading. Once they incorporate the speed reading, then you get them the dictionary. Once they've incorporated the dictionary, you get them a book of mathematical formulas. This book of mathematical formulas is critical because it takes your child from basic adding and subtracting all the way to physics. without learning numbers, without crunching numbers. They just want to know how the formula works, but they don't have to care about the numbers yet. But I'm pretty sure they'll know how to count and what the numbers are already. Once they go through the book of the formula 7 times, that information is sealed in there. It's not going nowhere. Now, you have to challenge your child to use what they learn to the greatest advantage they can use it. Once you do this, you're going to find a child that was average becomes above average in a real rapid rate of time. A child that nobody expected to excel now is excelling because they got the tools that allow them to take the governor off their brain. Instead of leaving them a victimized child in the educational system of suppression and oppression that's designed to keep them in a worker drone mind state for eternity. Take the brakes off the minds of the child. This is what's wrong with the adults. The adults' problem is that they are conditioned through Pavlovian response. That's when they put the bells in the schools. Go back and check. They separated the age groups because they didn't want first graders exposed to 12th grader information, because they was mastering that shit by the time they was in the 5th grade. And that's why you always hear them talking about this child dropped out in the 5th grade back in the day, because by the time they was in the 5th grade, they knew all that shit. They knew it because they sat back from kindergarten, they sat in the back, and they have step-down teaching. Now, step-down teaching is the best method of education we have discovered so far. Step-down teaching is when the 40-year-old teach the 30-year-old, the 30-year-old teach the 20-year-old, the 20-year-old teach the 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old teach the 5-year-old. It's a continuous passing down of knowledge that works from elder to youth. But it's something that has a side effect to that. By passing knowledge down generationally like that, what you are actually doing is passing the wisdom with the knowledge. You are taking all of the stuff that they use to oppress you and you turning it around in the mind first. It has to turn around in the world. What's up, Taz? Once you turn oppression around in the mind, now you are mentally free. The world has to liberate you. And this is the problem with the adults. Too many adults following the script that was given to them by Massa. And when I say that, a lot of people are going to think I'm only talking about the black ones. No. The white people following the script too. They are equally as ignorant as the black people and the Hispanics and the other groups that are multiple generations in this nation that fail because the education system is set up, designed, and structured to slow the brain down. Hey, Kimberly. Okay, so now, once we get them, if you just do the speed reading, you then automatically moved your 3rd grader mentally to 12th grade just by teaching the speed read. They might have to go through the process in order to master using it. But by the time they got it down, all of the stuff they're teaching them in school is going to be too easy. Then they're going to find that this child they said couldn't learn is in all accelerated classes because they took one summer and learned one thing. Now, they send your child to summer school because they say that they having learning problems and they want to help tutor and coach them along. And I've been to summer school growing up, and all we did at summer school was ate cookies and played on the playground. We didn't do no education when I was in summer school. So I didn't, as an adult looking back on that shit, I couldn't figure out why the fuck I was there. Well, your child probably feel the same way. It's more of a, tell them they going to have fun. That's all. You just going to summer school to have fun. You ain't have enough during the year. But the education of the child is so critical to the liberation of the growing adult. If you can take the shackles off the brain of the child they cannot shackle the brain of the adult. He will be able to see the pitfalls of the vipers before him before they ever get there. Right? So then it's once you got those basics, it's only a network of content at that time. It's all about the content after that. Because now they know what to do and how to do it, right? Now they just need the tools. Go through this math book, all right? And they will develop a passion for learning, and they will teach other kids naturally. Child whose parent is resistant to that child learning something, your child will be able to teach them without that parent being an asshole. Because some people literally and actually get offended if you give positive and uplifting information. I know from experience. I have people that can't stand me right now because I said keep your head up and don't let nobody demean and belittle you. And people that heard me tell somebody that have a grudge to me years in the making. From the people I work with, these motherfuckers know that if they don't know who got an answer to a question, they can come and get the answer from me. But as soon as I tell them they in a corporate sodomizing position with the corporations right now, they don't want to hear what I'm talking about. But I educated myself just for this reason. I seen something as a child in the adult world that I did not want to participate in and I did not want to take part in. I wanted out. And that thing in the adult world was called cyclic oppression. When I watched Roots, it gave me a different understanding of the condition and how it got that way. Now I got an idea of what's really going on as a child, but I don't know. I just have an idea. Little did I know I've been right since I was a little bitty boy. My oldest sister tell anybody who doubt what I'm telling them, my conversation has not changed since I was a fucking baby. I'm still telling people the same shit I told them when I was 4 years old. The only difference now, and it creates a lot of resentment, is I can give you references that I didn't have when I was 4. When I couldn't read, I couldn't give you a reference. So I taught myself how to read and effectively read. I didn't want to be anybody's puppet or pawn, and I wanted to free as many people as I possibly could. Little did I know that the biggest opposition to liberating the people would be the people wanting to be liberated because they get comfortable being oppressed. They call that learned helplessness. And so I was just commissioned on here to give some pointers on like tutoring and education and how do you help your child the best. The very best thing you can do is teach them speed reading. And go over this again. I got a couple more things in here. But I end right here at 9:22 and give y'all something to go think about with y'all child. If they think they can win, they don't even want the tussle. The tussle ain't worth the fight. Right? So I'm a cuddle bear in private. I'm just not one in public. Right? I'll ball the fuck up in the corner with your ass in private. I'm just not no motherfucking public because they done turned that shit into some sissy shit now. Right? The half of fags is holding hands with each other out there now. That no, y'all. Back in the day, it wouldn't have been thought of before these homosexual cults came over here. You could have held your homeboy hand without nothing being, it was just an exchange of energy, and we understood energy. You do some shit like that now, you sweet booty chuck ass. No, we can't do that now. We can't do that. We can't We can't show no weakness to the motherfucking enemy at this time. Right? So, I mean, everybody gotta understand their lane. And everybody ain't on the same level, spiritually speaking. Y'all start messing with people and they just trying to do what's right, trying to help somebody else out, and y'all trying to cut them down. That's a bad combination for your own benefit, for your own self-betterment. Stop doing that. Stop picking on them good people. If you ain't gonna help a motherfucker to uplift them, don't come try to leech off of them or cut them down. Right? Because we got a whole new guard. We not marching like Martin no more. When we do march, your ass is too late. Ain't nothing to talk about no more. When we do decide to march. When we march, we on a cadence call. On some real life shit. On some guerrilla warfare in the urban jungle ass shit. Right? So we ain't trying to get to that point. I want to get to that point, but that's not what we ain't trying to get to that point. We ain't trying to make everybody hit the streets and start tearing this bitch up. If we do make moves, they must be organized and strategic. Right? Watch Cali. They doing it out there. Now y'all not here. Y'all not watching because y'all don't know the Cali culture. If y'all was paying attention to the Cali culture, y'all would know how far we is in the progression of reclaiming the land. Y'all not gonna go out to Cali with no bullshit right now. Check the fuck in. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you know what's going on the land, don't go to Cali without checking in, cause you need to be accounted for by the OGs. Right? It's underground urban actions are being taken, mind you. Underground urban moves are being made, right? That has nothing to do with anything that doesn't concern the people on the land. We literally in Cali, they confiscating the enemy's shit being transported across their land, which according to the law of the land, anything that comes through there, they have a right to seize it under the direction of the chiefs. If the chiefs say seize it, they gonna seize it, and it's gonna be strategic and it's gonna be overwhelming. Watch Cali. They doing this shit for us. They showing us how we supposed to move with precision, with purpose, and with a direct agenda that's moved in a way that's going to make progressively forward moves and not bring the whole kingdom back down on itself, like when the ones who didn't strategize for this type of enemy didn't know what they was getting into. They couldn't prepare for something they had never experienced before. And Free Larry Hoover is the battle cry. Right? So if we have to get on the streets and say Free Larry Hoover, that's really going to be ungood. Right? So we trying to not have to get on the streets because they watching this shit. They know who the fuck we is. They know what we talking about. They know how to code flip too. The CIA been doing it in our face for years. I've been watching them. In silence, that is. So when I give them a knock to a knock back on the 1, 2, 3 off a gorilla grip on the North Pole flip to turn the planet upside down and spin that motherfucking bitch around and put them all in a headlock, on a hurt lock, on a guillotine flip, snapping necks across this land, they know what I'm talking about. Gorillas and motherfucking bears is rocking all across the land. And Papa Bear is a gorilla. It's as simple as that. And Mama Bear is a lion because she a Leo. And she leading the pride of matriarchs. It's over with for y'all who don't know what's going on, who ain't supposed to be here. Even a lot of us is going to be shocked at who ain't fucking supposed to be here when this shit is over with. Some of the people that you thought was really about it was about some bullshit. They not going to be here. It ain't personal. Once you find out how your enemy move, you weed them some bitches out. You make them expose themselves. You put them out and you let the people get them off the land. You get them off the land by knowing who they is. So fraud, one thing about them is they can't live with themselves when they can't defraud other people. Right? So when they can't tell you what they want to tell you because you got motherfuckers like me that's going to tell you that's a goddamn lie. That shit ain't true. I don't know where they got it from. But this is where you find the real shit at. Right? So that put all these motherfuckers knuckles to the ground. When the real leader gone, anybody can fill the position long as he look the part.